Welcome to Bridge Maps with Steve. This is where I share how I organize what I'm learning about bridge. Today's topic is the opening lead, your first defensive decision, and often your best opportunity to influence the outcome of the hand. Your goal is to make an informed lead, most importantly, to avoid making a damaging one. Your opponents won the contract, you're on defense, and you sit after the declare, so you get to start the play by making the opening lead. What do? What suit do you pick? What card do you pick? Is there a best opening lead? How do you decide? Defense is often considered the hardest part of bridge and the most important, since you play defense about half the time. While the opening lead looks simple, just picking a single card from 13, doing so with skill is often challenging. Making the opening lead, you have your hand, the auction, your partner's clues, and your judgment to help you make the best decision. Your first decision is usually, which suit do I lead? Then, what card in that suit do I lead? While there are guidelines and standards that can help you can memorize, it can help you to make those choices, logic and judgment can matter even more. It's not just blindly following a scripted rule, it's making the best informed decision you can. The opening lead is the first card played by the defense after the auction is complete. It matters because a good opening lead can sometimes set the contract before a declarer plays a card from his hand. A good opening lead can help establish defensive tricks, and a good opening lead can disrupt the declarer's plan. It's your first opportunity to communicate information about your hand to your partner. A poor lead can give away a trick, making the declarer's plan easier, and a bad lead is often unrecoverable. Some guidelines can help you in this case. Make a deliberate opening lead, not an automatic one. Think first. Use the auction, the contract, partner's bidding, and your own hand. What did the auction tell me? What is partner likely to hold? What contract strain am I in defending? Is it no trump or is it suits? And what is the declarer likely trying to do? Where is the declarer's strength? What options do I have? Some principles. Avoid helping the declarer establish tricks or suits. Have a plan for the second lead if you do win the first. And in suits, avoid underleaning an ace. And your opening lead style and strategy should be discussed with your partner and included on your convention card. Here's a map for the opening lead. Think first. Did partner bid? Are we in no trump or suits contract? What did the auction tell me? Where are tricks coming from? Should I be active or passive? And some principles. Use all of the auction. Lead strategically, not automatically. Choose the lead most likely to help you. Choose the lead least likely to help the declarer, and have a plan for trick 2. There are 2 lead styles, passive and active. Passive is being safe, patient, conservative, waiting for opportunities. An active lead is risky, attacking, applying pressure, forcing the action. Some priorities for making the opening lead. First priority is if partner bid. Then you got to look when partner didn't bid, and if you have no clear lead. First priority, if partner bid, lead your partner's suit. With a doubleton, lead the top. With touching honors, lead the top. With a single honor, lead low. If you have no honor and you supported partner's bid suit, lead high in that suit. If you didn't support your partner's bid, lead high with a doubleton, otherwise lead low. Now, you would lead their suit unless you have a good reason not to, when you clearly have a better option, when leading their suit leads into the declarer's known strength, or when your partner bid their suit late or defensively. Now, when partner didn't bid, some options. Against a suited contract, you're thinking shortness and support. First, do you have a sequence? Lead the top of an honor sequence. Next, if you don't have a sequence, look at your longest suit and lead fourth best from your longest suit. For example, if you have Queen 9-8 7-4, lead the fourth best would be the 7, and from Jack 8 6-5 would be the 5. You could consider leading a small singleton for roughing values when you have trumps, or sometimes you could lead a doubleton, leading high first, the 9 over the 9-5. That is often partnership sensitive. You could also consider leading trump to disrupt the declarer's plan, and when declarer's planning roughs. Caution, in suits, don't underlead an ace. In no trump contracts, you're also look for your priorities. Look at for a sequence. Lead the top of an honor sequence. That would be a 3-card honor sequence, whereas a suits contract would be a 2-card sequence. Then you could look at leading your fourth best from your longest and strongest suit. And then you would consider leading an unbid suit. If you have 2 suits of equal length, lead the better suit, either in no trump or in a suit contract. Now, when you have no clear lead, you would generally be passive and let the auction guide you. You choose the least bad option. Follow your partnership agreements and consider responders' unsupported suit. Some example sequences for a little clarity. There's a perfect sequence, a broken sequence, and an interior sequence. A perfect sequence has no gaps, all the honors in a row. Ace, King, for example, Queen, Jack, for example. A broken sequence is missing honors between honors and has no lower touching sequence. And then an interior sequence has touching honors below a missing honor sequence. Here's some examples. In a suits contract, where you need a 2-card sequence, King, Jack, 7 little is a perfect sequence, the king to the queen. A Queen 10-8 little, you would still lead the top, the queen, of a broken sequence where the Jack is missing. An interior sequence, you have a King, Jack, 10 little, you'd lead the Jack, the top of the interior sequence. And then in a no trump contract, a perfect sequence would be a 3-card sequence. King, Queen, Jack, lead the king. Queen, 10-8, 4, you'd lead the queen as a broken sequence. And then an interior sequence would be a Queen, 10-9, 8, you'd lead the 10. Cautions. Don't do declarer's work. Avoid declarer's known suit. Don't ignore the auction. Avoid leading from unsupported honors. And partner suit is not always automatic. You're not obligated to lead it. You lead it when it's justified. And then you avoid leading opponent's suits unless their auction suggests otherwise. Here I'm going to walk through 3 examples of the process of making the opening lead and the decisions involved. So here we have a suits example where the opener in the West opened 1 no trump, showing 15-17 imbalanced. In the North, they passed. And then in the East, they bid 2 diamonds, which is a transfer, showing 5 hearts. South passed. Then the opener rebid 2 hearts, completing the transfer. North passed. East then went to game at 4 hearts, showing 10 plus points and 6 plus hearts. And everybody passed out at that point, south, west again, and then north. So let's look at the analysis before we make the opening lead. So the opening lead is in the north's position because the declarer is in the west. So for the analysis, what did the auction say? Well, partner didn't bid, and the opponent only bid hearts, and we're in a 4-heart contract. So what are the lead options? We're looking for top of honor sequence, 4th down, singletons, trump, active or passive. Then we'll look at the hand in the north. So north has 4 spades, king high, a doubleton in hearts, two littles, 4 diamonds with a king queen 6-2 and a jack 7-4 in clubs. So the options. Do we have a top of an honor sequence? Yes, we have the diamonds topped by a king queen, which is a perfect sequence. Do we have a 4th down? Yes, we have 2. We have the spades, king 8-4-2, and of course the diamonds, which we also have the sequence in. We don't have a singleton, and there's really no reason to lead trump. Should we be active or passive? Given that partner didn't bid, and we really don't have a lot of information about their hand, there's really no reason to be active in this case. So which lead is more sound? The top of the diamond sequence. Leading the spade would be risky and be more active, and we would want to avoid the unsupported jack in the club suit. So we make an informed choice to lead the king of diamonds for our opening lead. And then we look at the goals. To make an informed choice, avoid a damaging lead, defeat the contract, and communicate with the partner. Next, we're going to look at an opening lead example where partner did bid and we're in a suits contract. So East is the opener, and they open 1 diamond, showing no 5-card major, 3+ diamonds, likely 4, and 12 to 21 points. South then overcalls 2 clubs, which shows they have 5+ cards in clubs and 12+ points because they overcalled at the 2 level. Then West responds to their partner's open with a 2 heart bid, shows at least 5 hearts and 10+ points, again because they're responding at the 2 level because of the overcall. North then passes, and then East does a simple raise to 3 hearts of their partner's response to their open. So they have 3+ hearts, and then South passes this time, and then West goes to game for 4 hearts, showing at least 13 points in order to get the game. Then North passes, East passes, and South passes. So, the analysis. What did the auction say? First, partner did bid, and they bid clubs, and it was an overcall, so we know they have 5. And then the opponent bid diamonds and hearts, and we're in a 4-heart contract. So, what are our lead options? Do we have a partner suit? Yes, the clubs. Do we have a top of honor sequence? Yes, in the diamonds. Oh, let me show the hand here. We have 4 spades, king high, a doubleton in hearts. We have 4 diamonds, ace, queen, 6-2, and the jack, 7-4 in clubs. So over to the top of the honor sequence. Yes, we have an honor sequence. We have the ace, queen, little, which is a broken sequence, but it's the opponent's suit. Do we have a 4th down? Yes, in spades, which is an unbid suit, so that has some possibilities. Do we have a singleton? No. Should we lead trump, or could we lead trump? Really no reason to in this case. Should we be active or passive? In this case, active, as there's likely tricks in partner's suit because of their overcall. And we have an honor too, and we know we have at least 8 in that suit. So as an informed choice, we would lead low in the clubs. We'd lead the 4, which is a supported honor because partner overcalled, showing they also had high card points in the club suit. Then later, possibly, thinking for the future, we could capture the ace of diamonds, and we could possibly switch to spades with the 2, which would be a 4th down. So that's our informed choice. Again, reviewing the goals, make an informed choice, avoid a damaging lead, defeat the contract, and communicate with partner. Now, the last example is a no trump example. So, in this case, the opener is in the west. They open 1 diamond, which shows they don't have a 5-card major. They have 12 to 21 points, and again, 3 plus diamonds, likely 4, but could be 3. North passes, then east bids 1 spade. The 1 spade shows they have at least 4 spades, and they have 6 plus points. They don't have a top. South passes, and then the opener bids 1 no trump, indicating they don't have a spade fit, and they also don't have 4 cards in hearts, and they're 12 to 14 points. So north passes, and then east goes to game with 3 no trump, indicating they have 13 plus points, and balanced to semi-balanced. And then south, west, and north are going to pass. So we're in a 3 no trump contract. So what is our analysis of this no trump hand? What did the auction say? Partner didn't bid. Our opponent bid diamonds and spades. And we're in a 3 no trump contract. It's also interesting, that, and I didn't put it down here, but the opponents didn't show hearts. So what are our lead options? Do we have an honor sequence? Well, let's look at the hand. The opening lead is in the north because the declare is in the west. So we have 7-4-2 in spades, 8-6-3 in hearts, ace, 5-4 in diamonds, and king, queen, 8-4 in clubs. So, lead options. Do we have an honor sequence? No, we don't. The king, queen is only a 2-card sequence, and we're in no trump, and you need a 3-card sequence. Do we have a 4th down? And longest and strongest? Yes, we do. In clubs. Clubs is our longest suit, and it's also our strongest suit, having the king and queen. Should we be active or passive? In this case, active, attack the unbid club suit. So which is a best lead in this case? 4th best. Longest and strongest suit, which is commonly a very good lead or a sound lead in a no trump hand. And it's our best chance to establish tricks. If partner has the ace, we could run the clubs. However, the no trump bid by the opponents signaled they do have a stopper in clubs. If the opponents have the ace, we can get back to the clubs by winning a suit, winning a trick with the ace of diamonds, and then continue to bid lead clubs. So what is our informed choice? Is to lead the 4 of clubs, the 4th down from our longest and strongest, and the unbid suit. So, what are our goals? Again, just to review, make an informed choice, avoid a damaging lead, defeat the contract, and communicate with partner. So, that's an example of the process of making the opening lead in a no trump hand where partner didn't bid. Again, the emphasis here is on the process. There's a lot of different options and different opinions about what could be the best or the most sound opening lead, and sometimes it's challenging. But if you go through a process and try and make your best informed choice, that is usually your best case. There's some etiquette and procedure related to the opening lead. After the auction ends, the opening leader is entitled to a brief pause to consider their lead. Meanwhile, all players delay recording the contract until after the opening lead is actually made. You may ask questions about the bidding before you make your opening lead, and when you do make your lead, do so first face down and ask any questions. This gives the table an opportunity to ask about the auction, but you can't change your lead based on the answers. It also gives a chance to avoid exposing a card if it wasn't your chance, your opportunity to lead. If you do lead out a turn, call the director and they will explain the options. Improve your defense by improving your opening leads. The opening lead is a developed skill. It's your first deliberate defensive decision. The key point is to think before you lead. Use the auction, the contract, your hand, and your partnership agreements to choose the opening lead that gives your side the best chance to defeat the contract. Bridge can have many things out of your control. The opening lead is one thing you do control. Learn the best approach, make the best informed choice, and then play the hand wisely. Thank you for joining me. I hope this was helpful. We'll see you next time.